Stoicism, an ancient philosophy that has guided countless people through the trials and tribulations of life, offers wisdom not just on how to live virtuously, but also on whom we should associate with. The people we surround ourselves with have a significant influence on our thoughts, behaviors, and ultimately, our character. The Stoics believed that just as one should be cautious about the influences they allow into their mind, they should be equally vigilant about the company they keep. In this video, we'll explore 7 types of people that Stoicism warns us to avoid, people who can derail our pursuit of virtue, wisdom, and tranquility. Each of these types represents a threat to our inner peace, and understanding how to identify and distance ourselves from them is crucial for anyone seeking to live a life guided by Stoic principles. Number 1. The cynical. Cynicism, though it might sometimes masquerade as wisdom, is fundamentally at odds with the Stoic approach to life. The Stoic philosophy teaches us to see the world as it is, to accept its imperfections, and to strive to improve it through our actions. Cynics, on the other hand, often dwell in negativity, seeing the worst in everything and everyone. They project their own disappointment and bitterness onto the world, believing that everyone is motivated by selfish interests and that nothing truly good can exist. This mindset is not just pessimistic but destructive, as it undermines our ability to find joy and meaning in life. For a Stoic who seeks to cultivate a sense of tranquility and purpose, associating with cynical individuals can be toxic. Their constant negativity can erode our own optimism and lead us to question the very values that guide us. The Stoics remind us that while it's important to be realistic, it's equally important to avoid those who see only the worst in life. By distancing ourselves from cynics, we protect our own mental and emotional well-being and remain open to the beauty and potential goodness in the world. Number 2. The arrogant. Arrogance is another trait that Stoicism advises us to steer clear of. The arrogant person is one who sees themselves as superior to others, who is convinced of their own infallibility, and who often disregards the opinions and feelings of those around them. This attitude is the antithesis of the Stoic virtues of humility and wisdom. The Stoics believe that true wisdom comes from recognizing the limits of our knowledge and understanding that there is always more to learn. Arrogance blinds us to this truth, leading us to overestimate our own abilities and underestimate the value of others. In the presence of an arrogant person, it becomes difficult to engage in meaningful dialogue, to exchange ideas openly, or to grow as an individual. The Stoics would argue that arrogance is a form of ignorance, a refusal to acknowledge the complexity of the world and the limitations of one's own perspective. By avoiding the arrogant, we ensure that we remain open to learning and self-improvement, qualities that are essential for a life guided by wisdom. Number 3. The hypocritical. Hypocrisy is a particularly dangerous trait because it often hides behind a facade of virtue. The hypocrite is someone who preaches high morals and standards, but fails to live up to them in their own life. For the Stoics, living in accordance with one's values is paramount. They believed that it was not enough to simply espouse virtuous beliefs, one must also embody them in their actions. Hypocrites, by contrast, create a dissonance between what they say and what they do, leading to a loss of trust and integrity. Associating with hypocritical individuals can be especially harmful because it can erode our own commitment to living virtuously. Their double standards can create confusion and lead us to question the importance of consistency in our own lives. The Stoics warn us that hypocrisy undermines the very foundation of a virtuous life. By distancing ourselves from those who do not practice what they preach, we maintain our integrity and ensure that our actions align with our values. Number 4. The pessimistic. Pessimism, like cynicism, is a mindset that can be incredibly detrimental to a Stoic's pursuit of tranquility. The pessimistic person sees the glass as perpetually half empty, always expecting the worst, and often dwelling on the negative aspects of life. While the Stoics acknowledged that life is filled with challenges and suffering, they also believed in the importance of maintaining a positive and proactive attitude. Pessimism can be contagious, spreading its dark cloud over even the most resilient individuals. When surrounded by pessimistic people, it's easy to become bogged down in their negativity, to start seeing problems where there are none, and to lose sight of the possibilities for growth and improvement. The Stoics teach us to focus on what we can control and to approach life with a sense of hope and determination. By avoiding those who are constantly pessimistic, we protect our own mental state and ensure that we remain focused on the positive aspects of life, even in the face of adversity. Number 5. The manipulative. Manipulative individuals are perhaps some of the most dangerous people one can encounter. They use deceit, charm, and cunning to influence others for their own gain, often at the expense of truth and integrity. Stoicism places a high value on honesty and virtue, and manipulation is a direct violation of these principles. The Stoics believe that one should live in accordance with nature, which includes being truthful and straightforward in one's dealings with others. Manipulators, however, distort reality to suit their own ends, creating a web of lies and deceit. Engaging with manipulative people can lead us down a path of moral compromise, where we might be tempted to abandon our values in order to achieve short-term goals. The Stoics would advise us to avoid such individuals, as their influence can be corrosive to our character and our commitment to living a virtuous life. By staying clear of manipulators, we preserve our integrity and ensure that our actions are guided by truth and virtue. Number 6. The overly dependent. While it's natural and healthy to seek support and companionship from others, there is a fine line between interdependence and excessive dependency. Overly dependent individuals rely on others for their emotional, financial, or moral support to an unhealthy degree. Stoicism teaches the importance of self-reliance and personal responsibility. The Stoics believe that true happiness and tranquility come from within, and that we should not be overly reliant on external factors or people for our sense of well-being. When someone becomes overly dependent on others, it not only places an unfair burden on those around them but also prevents them from developing their own strength and resilience. Being around overly dependent people can be draining and can hinder our own ability to focus on our personal growth and responsibilities. The Stoics would encourage us to support others in their growth while also maintaining our boundaries, ensuring that we do not enable dependency but instead promote independence and self-sufficiency. Number 7. The reckless. Recklessness is characterized by a lack of caution, consideration, and foresight. Reckless individuals often act impulsively, without regard for the consequences of their actions, and can bring chaos and harm into the lives of those around them. Stoicism, by contrast, values prudence and thoughtful decision-making. The Stoics believe that before taking any action, one should carefully consider the potential outcomes and ensure that their actions are aligned with their values and the greater good. Associating with reckless people can be particularly dangerous because their impulsive behavior can lead us into situations that are harmful or counterproductive. The Stoics warn us to avoid those who act without thinking, as their lack of foresight can derail our own efforts to live a calm, rational, and virtuous life. By surrounding ourselves with individuals who are thoughtful and deliberate in their actions, we can create an environment that supports our own pursuit of wisdom and tranquility. Conclusion. The Stoic philosophy offers timeless wisdom on how to live a life of virtue, wisdom, and tranquility. Part of this wisdom involves being mindful of the company we keep. The people we surround ourselves with can have a profound impact on our thoughts, behaviors, and overall character. By identifying and avoiding the 7 types of people that Stoicism warns us about: the cynical, the arrogant, the hypocritical, the pessimistic, the manipulative, the overly dependent, and the reckless, we protect our own mental and emotional well-being and ensure that we remain on the path toward a virtuous and fulfilling life. In the end, the Stoic approach to life is not just about internal reflection but also about making wise choices in our external environment, including the relationships we cultivate. By being selective about the people we allow into our lives, we can create a supportive and positive environment that fosters our growth and helps us achieve the tranquility and wisdom that Stoicism teaches us to seek.